What up, dude? And welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your trusted source for Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. On today's show, we recap week 2 of training camp and get you ready for joint practices with the New York Giants. Do us a favor, like the video and share it with other Lions fans just like yourself. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1,750 right now. Now it's time to bring in my co-host. It's your auntie's favorite Lions content creator, the smoothest brother from Yaktown, LL Cool Twins. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Man, it's the biggest and the busiest dude in Jackson, Michigan, coaching kids, cooking foods, and giving fades. It's the Wolverine. Who?
Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
All right, if y'all don't know how we get down on this channel, this is what we do. We look at Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on, and we give our take on why we agree or disagree. Now, let's get into today's topic for today, because we said we're going to recap that week 2 of training camp, them padded practices. So we get the headlines from the offense during padded practices, and then what happened on defense in week 2. And what to look for during the joint practices that start today and the preseason game coming up on Thursday. So first up to the mic is Mike. Coach Jones, what you got on the offense, my man?
Man, so we all know that the Detroit Lions have the best offensive line. I'm going to say it again, the best offensive line in the nation. Okay, and, but a lot of people are questioning, what about the backups? If somebody get hurt, what about the backups? And as of right now, now a guy named Matane Muti, who he's out for the season with a shoulder injury, so you can scratch him off that list. Then you got Christian Mahogany, the draft pick from this year. He is on the non-football, I believe, the illness list. So, he's battling. I don't know exactly when he'll be back. Hopefully it's soon. And then also we have Katie Awusika, who stepped in last year and looked pretty good, promising filling in. He's been out for the last couple practices. So, while we do have the most dominant offensive line in the whole wide world, our backups... they're just not looking too good right now because, Kobe Sorsdahl, who was originally stated to be the tackle, I can't remember if it was right or left, the backup tackle, has now moved back to guard because of the injury. So, that's something for us to keep our mind on, man, because I'm a little worried about that right now. Also, I just want to let y'all know that Darius Fountain is getting all type of play right now. Every time I see Darius Fountain, I see Amon-Ra St. Brown on the field at the same time. And I don't know, how much that's leading into that position battle, man. But I'm just saying, that looked like wide receiver 3 to me. Every time he on the field, St. Brown on the field. St. Brown only on the field with the ones. So, hey, let it be what it is. And my final take is kind of a silly one, but I just want to know, because these dudes, they've been on the team since the 90s. Jamar Jefferson or Tom Kennedy, who is more likely to make the 53-man roster first? And you can use injury as a reason for them getting on, man. But I just want y'all to kind of fill me in on y'all take about that, because them brothers been on this team forever. So, give me your takes, man. Is that ball stuff opinions or that ball on opinions?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and step to the mic first, my man, LL, because I know you got something interesting to say anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing first. Okay. So Fountain is that name. Let me talk about the offensive line first. So the O-line, man, the only bright spot really for losing those multiple players is like most of those guys are camp bodies. Yodi, I think Yodi would be all right. But the core starters, they're still intact. I'm liking that. And then Holmes is doing a good job of reloading that roster with some backup guys, some camp bodies. Not really worried about that. I get what you're saying, Coach Jones. Yeah, you want to make sure you're healthy throughout camp. But I'm just happy the main guys ain't going down. That's what I mean. Like Mutai was not a starter. Yodi is Yodi had a good play some good reps last year. I hate to see him sitting out, but the way the coaching staff approaches injury, they're just kind of being precautious and with these guys. So I want to see that. I like the way that they handle injury. Like they won't put a guy out there if they don't think he can perform. They want to keep them from injuring themselves. So they have their own best interest. They have the best interest of the players in mind when they do that. Fountain, that's the name I keep hearing out of my Performance Center in Allen Park. Dan Campbell said it good the other day, man. He told Donovan Peoples-Jones, man, he needed to see more out of him last week. So, and this coaching staff has no problems playing the best guys. And right now, Darius Fountain might be that guy. And Jamar Jefferson is in a battle for RB4 with Baki and Knight right now. And TK is doing his usual thing. You know, Kennedy gonna do his thing. However, if you ask me, boss up a ball on that one of these guys is gonna make the 53-man roster, I'm gonna say hell no. They can't go end up right where they usually are, right there on the practice squad. Tom Kennedy be on the practice squad. I think he was here in Stafford's rookie season, but I don't know, man. But I just don't see. I don't see neither one of those guys, just to be honest with you, making a 53-man roster. We're so deep at those positions. I think Baki's going to be the RB4. Reynolds is going to be the RB3. And Tom Kennedy, there's just no way he just makes a 53-man roster. I just don't see it. Not with the guys that's in front of him, man. It just ain't going to happen. But what you got, Ella? what you got, Ella?
I pretty much agree with all of that. I don't think Jamar Jefferson is going to make the roster, nor Tom Kennedy. As long as the starters on the O-line is straight still, I'm okay with that. And it's camp. They got time to either get better or find somebody else to come in. And I forgot what the other one was.
Fountain. Darius Fountain.
Yeah. Darius Fountain.
Of course, yeah. And y'all be saying Darius, or is it Darius or Doris? I'm not sure. But yeah, of course.
I think it's Darius. I think they pronounce it Darius Fountain. Or it could be Darius. I keep hearing it both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
You need to come on and let us know. Come on here on the live and let us know.
Right. Let us know, Mr. Fountain. But yeah, of course, I mentioned his name before as names to look out for in camp. And won't you look at that? We're looking out for his name in camp. So yeah, that guy, I believe he's gonna be wide receiver 3.
Hey, do us a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to those 2,000 subscribers. We're at 1,750 at the time of this recording. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment on the video. All these things help us with that YouTube algorithm. So go ahead and hit us up and let us know how we're doing on the show. Now it's time for my man. Like I said, man, coming to the States, it's the ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. Yaktown don't back down. LL Cool Torrance talking about that defense, man. What you got today?
Yeah, what's happening on defense in week 2 of them padded practices. We got an update straight from AG himself, but it was reported by, if you listen to ESPN or watch ESPN, but Dan Graziano. And this comes from, the Sporting News. But Dan Graziano said that AG mentioned that, he put some structure or some order to the wide receiver. To the defensive back room, cornerback room. It said that right now, Carlton Davis and Terry Arnold, Sub-Zero, has been starting outside cornerbacks with N.F. Rexstraw predominantly being the backup to those two, and in that slot with Brian Branch not practicing much, but moving over to safety. They've been playing Amik Robinson, Ife Melifanu, and I forgot. Oh my God! And it's
Mosley
and Emmanuel Mosley, just right there. The guy who we've all been waiting to see. And a lot of the clips I see Emmanuel Mosley out there. So, it looks like those are the 3 that we're looking at. And for that nickel spot or cornerback 3, I had asked that before as far as our camp questions. Expectations for Kirby Joseph. Dan Campbell, this is another one straight from the source. Dan Campbell spoke out and said, he's looking for more consistency from Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph has been a leader out there. I've heard Tanya Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw say, just in different clips that, when they mess up, they got Kirk back there saying, hey, come on, TA, come on, Rook, you got to make that play. This is, we got to do this because of that, and he's been there. He saw a ball bounce off somebody's face mask and end up in the end zone. So, he might can just say, hey, you don't want to end up like that. So, and then the rest of the defense, well, I shouldn't say the rest, but then a mention of some of the defensive standouts. And this one comes from DetroitLion.com, and I believe this was from Tim Twentyman. But some of the names he has on his defensive standout list is, of course, our guy we've been calling on. I've been saying it ever since he came here. My friend, Levi Onwuzurike. He's been bouncing all around that defensive line. They've been playing him a lot at that big end. And I believe we mentioned it last week. They're saying that he's been looking as good as he's ever had with the Lions. Shout out to my guy. Linebacker, all of our friends, Derek Barnes. He's been stepping up. That boy pack a punch. He was out there punching people the other day, and he out there, making plays on the practice field. Cornerback, I just mentioned his name, nickelback or cornerback for the moment, whatever you want to call it, Amik Robinson, out there showing that dog. He's been in everybody's face, knocking balls down, doing what we need defensive backs to do. And this is a name that was kind of unexpected for me. Because I don't want to say I've been dissing him, but I ain't been giving him much room this summer. But that's y'all's friend, Marcus Davenport. It looks like he's been looking back healthy and strong, so that is definitely a good sign. So, if y'all want to say, oh, no, don't flip now, blah, blah, hey, shut me up, Mr. Marcus Davenport. Go ahead and do your thing, man. And then the last name on this list that I mentioned is, again, all of our friends here, that dancing machine, and that's Aiden Hutchinson. He's been looking good and healthy. And one of the things that the article mentioned specifically is that Aiden Hutchinson has been looking good because Marcus Davenport has been looking good. And of course, all the other names on that defensive line that we've heard about. We heard about Levi. We've heard about how good that boy the Dream been looking. So all the things we've been waiting on, man. We've been hearing good reports from the defensive backs and good reports from the defensive line. So I don't know how we make it boss over ball out, but what do y'all guys think about that?
All right, I'm gonna say Mike, because you're the defensive coach, man. So you gotta go last because you gotta get the best takes on the defense, of course. How that goes, because we say the best for last when it comes, these segments here. I love the competition that I'm seeing at nickel position so far. Two veterans battling out with Robertson and Mosley. Both got some dogs in them. Ennis Rakestraw has been getting some runs in the ones and on outside and some of the inside plays. So I've seen him in a few reps in practices at slot corner. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. But I like the competition from the slot corner position. Kirby Joseph, he put up some good numbers last year. I mean, if you look at him versus one of the players that everybody's in love with in Baltimore, here's Kirby Joseph's numbers last year. 4 interceptions, 11 passes defended, 82 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Numbers are close to the player that everybody's in love with from that draft class, Kyle Hamilton. 4 interceptions, 13 passes defenses, and 81 tackles. The difference is that he has 10 tackles for loss. But guess what they're doing with Kyle Hamilton? He is lining up in the nickel position. He's not up in the nickel position at more snaps than he did at any other position last year, not just safety, where Kirby Joseph is landing up at safety probably the whole season. I mean, I've only seen him in the box a few plays. So, yeah, Kyle Hamilton's doing his thing, but he's all over that secondary in Baltimore, where I like what I see from Kirby Joseph, because he's roaming that back into the secondary. He's becoming more comfortable in that role of playing that single high safety. So I like what I'm seeing out of Kirby Joseph. I think he's going to be more consistent this year. He's becoming a leader and a vocal leader in the back of that defense. Like you said, LL, he is back there being the captain on the back of that defense, getting everybody lined up, and he's calling people out when they make mistakes. So just hopefully he can call himself out when he makes the same mistakes. All right, so my names that are standing out on that back end of that on the defense, pretty much. Ennis Rakestraw is just a different guy with the pads on. He's just been balling. Carlton Davis III has he's more comfortable, and he stepped up. And of course, Levi Onwuzurike and the usual suspects that we have on that defensive line. You're talking about the dancing machine who I didn't know that he was a hip hop dancer when he was a kid. Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem the Dream is doing his thing. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up and make a name for themselves during the preseason because, it's all about that getting that shine on, getting that tape. So who's going to make themselves felt in this preseason besides the usual suspects? What you got there, Coach Jones?
You know what, LL, I gotta go. I gotta go with you on this one because that's a boss up take right there, man. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I hope that Emmanuel Mosley wins that nickelback position because that means that he's back to his full self. And you already know everybody else is talented in that room. So if he gets that position, that means he's back to Emmanuel Mosley from San Francisco. And that means that DB room is thick out there. So that's what I hope. Then Kirby Joseph, man, I think Kirby ready, man. It's crazy, man. We thinking that all these Lions got a chance to be Pro Bowl players, man. And when you thinking like that, you know what come behind that? Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it is what it is. And then my defensive standout, there's only one name I want to touch on, man, because I don't like the way you be saying that, LL. Y'all's friend, Marcus Davenport. You know what? You said the same thing about Jared Goff, man. You're going to leave Marcus Davenport alone because he's going to surprise some people and get about 8-9 sacks this year, man. You keep playing around with Marcus Davenport, man, because I think the Lions coaching staff knows him. And I think a lot of that stuff that be going on in players' bodies be mental. I think a lot of times be mental. I think they don't be tapped in all the way. But when they see that familiarity back to that original, this was my initial rookie year, and this was, you know what I'm saying? They get that feeling again, and then all of a sudden they get right. So you don't have to stop saying y'all's friend. That's your friend too.
Okay, let's put some on the line here, then, Mike. If you said 8 or 9, I'll let you pick out of that 8 or 9. If Marcus Davenport get to them numbers. What you like that Knob Creek? Let's put a bottle on the line. What you got? If Marcus Davenport get to 8, I owe you a bottle. If he don't get that, he get to 7 in 2 quarters. You owe me.
Okay, what to drink? Hand?
I stick with the Knob Creek. We just keep with that whiskey.
All right, okay. For sure.
Hey, that's a good friendly wager right here on the Toss Up Ball Out podcast, man. Like the video and share it with other Lions fans just like yourself. Comment, man. Y'all know how we get down here, man. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we have recorded shows that premiere at 8 o'clock. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do our live shows at 8 o'clock. So come through and hang out. Sometimes I have some special guests on. I got some people lined up that are just trying to get on the show. Just got to make sure we get the timing right. Some names that you're going to see, some good content creators from other Lions channels that's going to be coming on, man. And we got some things going on, man. You may see our face over there on LNU. So, man, make sure you check us out over there, if that happens, what I'm saying. We'll see. All right, so last topic for today's show is definitely what to look for in the joint practice sessions in the preseason game number 1 this week. So, for me, all right. So Dan Campbell has already confirmed that JG will not play in the preseason. Absolutely doesn't need to play in the preseason. I don't want that dude out there getting hurt. But what I'm looking to see in the joint practices is the Lions starters versus the Giants starters. Ben Johnson's group has a lot of continuity. Only replaced really one guy, a starter from last year, which is Kevin Zeitler. He moves over to that right guard. Graham moves over to the left guard. But I like to see what they're going to do during team drills, but it's still going to be vanilla. Ben Johnson's not going to throw up that playbook at the Giants like he's going to, like he would during the regular season. So, but I'm really interested to see how the starters on that defense play against the new look Giants offense, Malik Neighbors and those guys. So how that, especially that back end of that secondary, how they're going to perform those starters versus those guys in camp, because it's going to be some interesting battles. Malik Neighbors ain't no punk, you know what I'm saying? That dude can get after it. So I'm interested to see that, how Terrion Arnold, how Carlton Davis deal with that cat kid. That dude's a monster, man. The second thing is who will separate themselves in that backup quarterback battle. Hendon Hooker or Nate Sudfeld. Sudfeld has been winning that competition in training camp, but will it translate into game reps in preseason? And as I talked about earlier, man, Darius Fountain is making a name for himself in camp. But here's a caveat, because I know we talked about this dude, man. We want to be on the Darius Fountain bandwagon. I still don't think he's ahead of Khalif Raymond. I still believe Khalif Raymond is number 3. Fountain for me is number 4. DPJ is going to have to step up to get a spot on this roster, because right now Fountain is outplaying him. So, and I said it, that this coaching staff does not have a problem moving on from a guy that's not stepping up. And if he doesn't fit the culture and he's not stepping up, they will move on from you quick, fast, in a hurry. They'll take the dead cap space. So it is what it is. And the last thing I'm watching for is how the second and third string defensive backs will perform in that preseason game. I think the Giants will play some of their starters a little longer or an extended period, because they're a new group together. Their offense is pretty new. All new weapons. Saquon Barkley is gone. The wide receiver room is pretty new. New tight ends. Their offense is pretty new. So I think they're going to be playing those guys to get some, probably get some familiarity and some game reps with those guys. And with those backup corners, can they compete? Will they be able to compete against those guys? How will they communicate in the back end of our defense, man? Because they played so well last preseason, but they suck during the year. So hopefully they can play better this preseason, man. So looking at that, what are you guys looking for in the preseason and in the joint practices? I'm gonna go to you first, Coach Jones. What you got?
I think 2 of your takes are ball stuff, and one of your takes is balled on, because I ain't like that. And the one I ain't like, I'm gonna start off with that, man, is I really do think that Khalif Raymond is going to be wide receiver 4. And only reason why I think that is because when I listened to that Ben Johnson interview, he said they were looking for a guy who bridged the gap between Amon-Ra and J-Mo, and they said they were looking for that 6-foot something guy, and that's just not Khalif right there. So I think Khalif will be receiver 4 or 5. That's just going off of that Ben Johnson presser did a few days ago. But yeah, them practices, man. I just want to see the Lions starters dominate somebody. That's all I want to hear reports of. I want to be tapped in to Tim 20, man, to Eric Schlitt, to I forgot the other guy's name, man.
Jeff Risdon.
Yep, Jeff Risdon. I'm gonna be tapped into them, man. I want to hear what they got to say, man, about them practices, man. I want to just hear pure domination, and I want to hear somebody got beat up too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's camp. You know what I'm saying? Camp is this when it happened. I want to see Penei Sewell manhandle somebody on Detroit on the Giants team. Like man, look like a tiger out there with a kitten. So that's all I want to see, man. And I forgot what the last thing it was that you your last bullet point.
Backup secondary.
Oh yeah, backup secondary. I do want to see that, man, because that's going to be crucial, because we do have a lot of depth back there. So that backup secondary would look like our starters from last year, really. So, and two, I want to see Hendon Hooker just clearly take that 2 spot. I want him to take that backup role, put it in the chokehold, and be like, it's mine. So, like I said, I'm going to give it all ball stuff, and I'm going to give one ball down, because I believe Khalif is going to be receiver 4 or 5.
Okay. All right, LL, what you got, brother?
Good point there, Coach Mike. But the thing that I'm looking for most is our defensive line versus their offensive line. They've been trying to add some names and build their offensive line up to protect their guy over there that they spent some money on that they probably shouldn't have had. Danny Nichols, as some people call him. But yeah, that's what I'm most interested in. I just want to see, like you said, I want to see somebody getting beat down the whole time. I want to hear about Aleem just eating people necks off. I want to hear about Aiden Hutchinson body slamming people and dancing afterwards. I want to hear about y'all's friend Marcus Davenport earring jangling and doing his thing. So let's see their offensive line against our defensive line.
All right, and to that Giants fan last year that swore that Kayvon Thibodeau beat Penei Sewell, it absolutely did not happen. I've watched that clip 1,000 times. Kayvon Thibodeau did not get past Penei Sewell for that sack it wasn't even close. That wasn't even close. I don't know what you were looking at, but you were looking at the right thing. All right. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Drop us a comment in the comment section. We'll be live chatting during this premiere today. So, but make sure you still drop us a comment, man, and tell us how we're doing, man. All right. Now it is time for our potting shots for today's show. Of course, I gotta go to my man, that smoothest brother from Yaktown, man. LL, what you got for the people today?
Man, happy Monday. It was a long weekend, great weekend, but we right back to it, man. Happy Monday. Have a great rest of your week.
All right. Coach Jones, man, going into camp. What you got for the people today?
Yeah, so we finished up our little training camp, our little mini camp, Sunday through Thursday, and we got this week off. And then Monday, 1 week from today, we will have already completed our practice. Why? It's because on that Monday we got a midnight practice to start training camp and start the season, man, to get practices kicked off, man. So yeah, I'm gonna be tired, man. So I took the day off of work with that one.
Yeah, man. And good luck to the Jackson Northwest Bounties this season, man. I hope you guys do good for the season. Do the crew a favor. Make sure you follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Y'all see them up on the screen, man. And y'all know what goes down on Thursday over there on LL's Instagram page. It's always thirsty over there. Get yourself something to drink, brother. All right. For me, thank you guys for starting your week off with us right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. We appreciate you. Hope we got you ready for joint practices and with this recap of what happened in the padded practices, and preseason is upon us, man. We only got a few days before the Lions and the Giants line up and actually play a preseason game. Excited about that, man. Hey, do your man Kurt Steele a favor. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. With my man LL Cool Tones and Coach Mike Jones. This is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.